What's up, everybody? It's JoJo, your favorite gold coach, and I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day today. It's time for the second episode of Spectating Flamers. If you're not aware, this is the show where we spectate somebody in a game that flamed someone else. It doesn't have to be them flaming me, it doesn't even have to be somebody on my team. If I see somebody flaming another person, sometimes we'll go and watch their gameplay and see if they're actually, justified in the flaming, or if they're just as bad as the person they are flaming. And most of the time, they are just as bad as the person they are flaming. This is just for a little bit of catharsis, and I want to make one thing perfectly clear. Nobody in these games is going to play perfect, and a lot of times it is a collective team effort that loses these games. It's not only one person, but when you flame other people, you open yourself up to being harshly criticized. So today we're going to take a look at this Junkrat, where after his team lost the first round, he said that his tank was Garbo. And so let's see if this Junkrat was actually able to clean up the act, or if, like you're expecting, he could have did a lot of things differently. Time for another episode of Spectating Flamers. Icon of Sin was our flamer here. They said our tank is total Garbo, and then I mentioned that it's not just their tank, but hey, and they said don't be sorry, it's your talent, because their tank was apologizing. So let's see how good Icon of Sin is. Let's see how good at the game our flamer is. It's our Junkrat player. I recall him spending most of the game just standing up on a high ground, just spamming his bombs into an area. So let's see what he does.
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Escort.
Okay, a couple little shots. All right. He's gonna bounce up here, and then he's just gonna stay up here, and he's only going to shoot this angle. He's not gonna go through this. Listen, look at this, chat. Look at this. So he just I remember this. He's just gonna stand here, jiggle peeking this angle. His Rhine is right here, and his supports are coming in to help his Rhine fight us. He could have walked over here while his Rhine is dueling us, stood right here and shot these guys for free at close range, giving them even less time to react to his bombs. Junkrat bombs do 120 damage on a direct explosion, and he's got 2 mines up. So he could have just walked over to that point and just blew up these 3 guys for free. But instead, he just does what gold Junkrats do, and he just spams into the same spot over and over again. Maybe somebody will walk into his bombs. Maybe not. We don't know. You know. But hey, it was his tank's fault. I mean, what more could he be doing? I mean, his tank was just so bad. What more could he do? Take a different angle? Try to see if he could have a little bit better time? I know where he's at. I literally know where he's at. And instead of trying to take a different angle and take me by surprise, he just oh my god! Oh! He learned a different angle! He learned a different angle! Amazing! But it's too late because my entire team has already rotated. So then, he just continues to do what gold Junkrats do. Look. Again, bro. You can literally, he could mine himself right over here. He could mine himself over here, shoot from this angle, and he could just walk up and down, use these boxes for cover, come over here, shoot directly onto me and my supports. He could literally be firing directly onto us and killing us and giving his Rhine a chance to take out our Moira by distracting us. Or it pushes us further in and then he can trap and set up here. But no, what does he do instead? What does he fucking do instead? He just sits here, spamming the same 2 spots over. My Cassidy's not even there. My Cassidy already moved to the right. He just keeps doing it, and then he sees me come up here. He jiggle peeks this for a little bit, but then he just keeps spamming. Look, he could have oh my god! He could have bounced off the walls while my shield was blocking him, but he didn't even bother. See, he gets that tire, and then he gets that 1 kill, and he thinks he's hot shit, and now he's gonna get this on my Cassidy, probably. Maybe? No? He doesn't, he did. Oh my fucking god. Yo, Whimsy, thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. As we go down, we go to the right. I'm gonna slow this down a bit. We go to the right, and he aims left. Left, right. Now he starts aiming to the right, bro. He fires 2 full shots to the left before he turns to the right. But it was his tank, you know? It was his tank. His tank was the problem. Oh, some nice double kills there. Are you gonna go push the payload, maybe? His Anna's by herself on the payload. He does. Look where his soldier's at. Look where he's at. Look where his soldier's at. Where he's at. Look where his soldier's at. But it's the tank, bro. The tank's the problem. He doesn't even know the angle to get the fucking bombs over there, bro. It's crazy. Oh my god, he finally gets up here. He finally gets up there, and then he throws a mine directly into the fucking Mizuki ult, which blocks projectiles. But it's his tank's fault, chat. It's his tank's fault. Now he's just sitting here. He could so easily come to this angle. He could so easily come to this angle, bounce his bombs off of this wall, which will cause them to ricochet into my team, or he could stand on this corner right here and shoot a bunch of bombs down right there onto us. But what does he do instead, chat? What does he do instead? He just sits here. He just sits here spamming into the corner of the payload where nobody's at. And then my Cassidy just walks up there and kills him for free. He didn't even pay attention to the Cassidy coming up behind him. Paid literally 0 attention, and he threw a Junkrat trap at the ground as he was dying. But it was his tank. His tank is Garbo. His tank is the problem, don't you know? Don't you know his tank is the issue? Couldn't possibly be that this guy has no idea how to do. And then he goes right back to this spot. He finally figures out he can come here, but again, he's not utilizing this angle. He's got a wall. There's a fucking wall. There's a wall right here. He could be bouncing his bombs off of this wall and hitting all of us in this spot, but he's choosing to spam a fucking angle that nobody's at. Gets the luckiest trap on my Cassidy he's ever had in his life. See, this is the problem with low-ranked Junkrat players, is that they don't understand how to take angles and how to, like, actually try to get the kills. They just spam the same area over and 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 over again, and then they wonder why they're losing games. He has not, the entire first round, bro. The entire first round, what's the time on that? Almost 5 minutes. He spent nearly 5 minutes spamming angles where nobody was in the hopes that somebody would walk into his bombs. He wasn't trying to land the bombs. He was hoping someone would walk into the bombs, which is how bad Junkrat players play. He had so many opportunities, so many fucking opportunities to literally just go to this spot between these two boxes and just rain mayhem on my team as we're holding here. But he doesn't do that. He doesn't do any of that. Instead, he just spams at random areas, hoping that someone's going to walk into his shit. Now, they already had one of their teammates leave. I'm pretty sure that they all just start leaving after this. I think even he leaves at some point.
Ready for battle.
Support your local bombardier.
Homie's not even moving his mouse. He's fucking scrolling TikTok while he's walking toward the fucking defense area. Let's see where he holds here. I'm interested where he holds here. I don't remember. I think he just holds here and he's gonna just spam down main. Now what's interesting is he knows this angle exists, which is where his soldier's standing. He could easily mine to these stairs and spam our main spawn and our top spawn. And then if he hears someone coming up these stairs, he can easily either jump across this gap and join his soldier, or he can mine back over to this platform. But again, he doesn't do that. He just fucking stands here where he's going to continue spamming the same areas and hope that he hits something. And he's got his trap and his mine set up in this corner here, but that's not going to catch anybody unless we hug the corner. Which, why would we hug the corner if they're standing on this high ground? We're more likely to hug the high ground that he's on than we are to hug that corner. And I see his trap and mine, and so I just fucking take it out. But look how scared he is. Look how scared he is to peek literally, and then he just shoots my shield for the fuck of it and gets domed by my Widow. Like, at the end of the day, look at all the different shit he could have done. And then he hot swaps to Reaper here before leaving. I think he leaves here. He leaves in like 2 minutes or 2 seconds. Yeah, he just left. Like, all of that shit he put on his tank. All of these tiny little mistakes that could have easily led to a win, because my team stayed grouped up for most of the match. Could have easily led to a win, but no, it was his tank's fault. And people like that, chat, people like that are never going to climb. They're never going to climb, because they're always, all the time, going to constantly put pressure on their teammates to do better instead of them actually trying to be proactive. And all the wins they get are based off of whether or not the enemy team is bad. And that's just the reality. That's just the reality.